I started this video, I told myself that I wanted to have, footage from things offline that I could find, articles to throw in, a lot of facts, you know what I'm saying, that I could just throw in your face and be like, whoa, look at this shit. But as I started doing it, I decided I really don't need any of that shit for this video. I'll save that shit for something else, because there's really nothing I can show you that you haven't already fucking seen before. And I figure I could just tell you my thoughts on the whole thing instead. Today's video is going to be a little more on the serious side. Something that's a big fucking deal to everybody, whether you know it or not. I wanted to do this video for a while. What finally triggered it was originally Jesse Williams' BET speech that I caught on Facebook before everybody fucking deleted it. Big surprise. I know that in his specific speech, he was specifically directing it towards the black community, the men and women and children, but it just kind of started getting me thinking, about like the bigger picture, that involves everybody. Before I could even make said video, the cops started going fucking nuts again, as they do. And next thing you know, you get a guy shot in front of a fucking parking lot in a fucking store, like on the ground already. Then we get a guy shot in his fucking car with his fucking kid in the backseat. I mean, fucking seriously? I'll start on the whole racism issue of this whole thing, and then we will move on to the bigger picture. I was introduced to racism at about 5 years old. My very first best friend I ever had was a little black kid named Carlos that lived in the projects across the street from us. Well, one day, my stepdad, said that we were going fishing trip. Yay! I could bring anybody I wanted. Of course, I'm gonna bring Carlos. His mom went out and bought him all kinds of brand new fishing gear to go on said trip with his best friend and best friend's stepdad. When he shows up to the house, I saw him walking across the street, happy as shit with all of his brand new stuff, thinking we were going to go fishing. Funny thing is that once he got there, my stepdad decided to say that we were just going to go alone. Now, I didn't understand why at the time, but I figured it out later. Then, of course, it was the years and years of growing up in not so good neighborhoods and seeing the things that go on in said neighborhoods. Not to mention just fucking people I met over the course of my life in general. People that I thought were pretty decent people, and given the right circumstances, they were pretty fucking awesome people. But then given other circumstances, they showed a completely different side of themselves that I was not fucking aware of at the time until certain situations presented themselves. Say, me having a black girlfriend, say, by chance, or just black friends that we had and when they weren't around, or even just say some, not even necessarily black, but black, Mexican, whatever, man or woman walking down the fucking street as we're driving by and hear them fucking make some shit ass comment, and I'm like, like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, what would even make you say some shit like that. I mean, that person didn't do shit to you. Now, I've made comments about people in the past before, you know, just because I'm fucking sarcastic and a smartass, and that's just what people like me do. But I don't hate a group of people based off of the color of their skin or where they're from. If I hate you as a person, it's personal. You did some shit to me to make it that fucking way. And if I hate a group of people, it's because of something that you stand for that I don't like. It's not what you look like. It's, say, like, just since we're on the subject, the fucking Ku Klux Klan or something. Okay, I don't like that whole fucking group of people because of what they fucking stand for. Not because of the color of their skin, not because of where they live, not because they're fucking rich or poor, because they're fucking assholes. Thing that I'd like to talk about, white privilege. Now, you say that term to a white person, they lose their fucking minds for some reason. But you gotta understand that it is a real fucking thing. Now, a lot of time when people hear the word privilege, they assume that it means that they're being fucking handed something, most likely something tangible, physical, you know, like money or things or stuff. And that is not always the case. If you are treated differently because of, say, your skin color or, you know, your financial status, that is still a privilege of whatever it is that you are that's causing people to treat you that way, to treat you better than somebody else that doesn't have that. Now, say I'm treated better in public or at a job or at the grocery store, you know, than, say, these couple black kids that walked in that maybe the store owner is eyeballing them thinking, oh, they're probably going to steal some shit, you know, or maybe people won't take them as serious when they're saying or doing something because of the color of their skin or whatever. That is still a privilege that you've got based on simply not because you're a good fucking person, not because you're better than they are, but just because you fucking look different than they do. And that's fucking stupid. You can fucking fight all day long with these fucking people about this shit, and they will stand their motherfucking ground on this subject because they feel that they have not been handed anything for any fucking reason. I've tried. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody has some type of privilege somewhere based off of their color of their skin, because of their financial status, because of where they live. It's not just white privilege. There is white privilege, but there's also black privilege, Hispanic privilege, Indian privilege, and I don't mean Native Americans because they have privileges too, but I meant actually, you know, Indians from India. But everybody has some type of privilege given to them. And it's not always a tangible thing. Most of the time when someone says the term white privilege, they mean basically the way you're treated differently due to, like I said, not because you're a better person, because, you know, some of you are fucking assholes, but basically just because you're white. The thing that really fucks me up is the redneck white guy that claims to fucking hate black folks, yet when you get in his fucking truck, he's playing fucking Tupac. So basically I'm telling you, yo, yeah, something's definitely got to fucking change. And I'm not saying that this shit hasn't been going on for a long fucking time, because it has. The only thing that has changed is that now we see it more often because of fucking smartphones in every fucking buddy's hand. Back in the day, we didn't have the ability to videotape as much shit as we get videotaped. And now we have social media where people are posting this shit all over the fucking place. So all the white folks that have somehow seemed to have evaded being affected by this shit all these years are like, oh my god, I can't believe these poor black people are getting fucking shot and abused by the police and by other people. And it's you know, Charles, the 50-year-old black guy you work with, why don't you ask him how it's been for him through the years? And I can guarantee you that he's not going to say, just out of nowhere, cops started treating me like shit. Trust me, this shit has been going on for a long fucking time, despite whether you fucking seen it or not. Now, what got me thinking was, like, years and years and years, people have been fighting for the right to this, the right to that, equality this, equality that. And it got a little better, but come on, man. Like, you can't tell me that shit is even across the board. Nobody's buying that shit except for the people that it somehow just manages to not affect because of one reason or another. One thing you gotta realize is the system is set up to keep the rich people rich and in power, and the poor people and the people without poor and without a voice. Quite fucking honest, I don't see that shit changing unless something fucking drastic fucking happens, because talking about it is not going to fix anything, because who the fuck are we? And then they don't have to listen to us, pretty much. Is that it's been proven, and it's getting worse, that the government and the people, I'm not even going to say the government, I'm just going to call it the people in power, because it's not just government, it is people that are not even in the fucking government that are controlling shit that you are not even fucking aware of. When we do not comply with the things that they present to us, they will make sure that it happens by brute force if necessary. And the thing is, say like Revolutionary War type shit, it ain't like that anymore. For something to change now, you got to realize that they have all of the weapons. They have all of the technology. They could just wipe out an entire fucking city if they wanted to, and we don't have that ability. Saying that the only way to solve anything is by violence, but sometimes when your voice isn't heard enough, but change needs to happen, sometimes people are left with no other choice. I'm telling you, if you keep this wounded dog in the corner and poking it with a stick, eventually, out of survival instincts, this dog is going to jump and bite. Now, right now, they have the media on their side, and they are putting fear in everybody, putting just all these thoughts in people's fucking heads. And as long as they keep us separated and fighting amongst each other, we're fucking sitting ducks. Because as long as we're separated and fighting amongst ourselves, they can just easily just swoop in and do whatever the fuck they want to do, because our minds are way over here. We're not even thinking about what the fuck they're doing. And also, it's like there are people still out there that this shit just somehow is just not affected, somehow, personally. They have somehow evaded being treated differently due to their race or due to their, financial status or where they live, and so basically everybody has this mindset that, well, at least it's not happening to me. The thing is that you're wrong. It's not happening to them. It's not happening to her. It's not happening to him. It's happening to us. And if people keep turning their heads the way they do, and with this whole, at least it's happening to them and not to me attitude, eventually we will all be equal. We will be equally poor. We will be equally without a voice, and all of the rights and equalities that blacks, gays, women have fought for and died for I don't even fucking know how many collective years it would be to put them all together in all those groups. The people in power will slowly strip away the rights and equalities that we do have, piece by piece. And of course, you realize that they're doing this for your own safety in one way or another. But it will get to the point that they have stripped so many of our rights away, one by one, that the rights and equalities that these people have struggled for so long won't be worth shit compared to what they were worth when the fight started. So what we need to do is realize that we are all being pushed toward the same fucking cliff. Because if we were to stand up and fight, not amongst ourselves, but amongst the right enemies, nobody can stop us. So yes, things do need to change, obviously, because I'm telling you, if it continues on getting and building like worse and worse the way it has been because of people being able to see it more now, I'm telling you, bad shit is gonna go down. And I'm telling you, once that shit storm starts, there will be no chance to backtrack and apologize. It's coming, I'm telling you, it's coming. Wake up, smarten up, stand up. I'm out.
I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did.